I'm Nerd Scum, we're a fucking mess. And we watched goddamn Devil's Rejects.
What you call me? Well, if you give me a chance, I was gonna call you a crazy pig fucking dumbass pussy piece of shit.
Oh, brother, you's a dead man.
Right on, guys, so welcome to another episode of What You Mean You Ain't Seen. As always, I am joined by...
Bree?
An old man Logan.
And we're going to talk about what these fools who have never seen Devil's Rejects thought of the movie. Now, they have not seen House of a Thousand Corpses, and for those of you out there who are thinking about it, yeah, this is the second movie in the series. Don't watch House of a Thousand Corpses first, because it'll just fucking confuse you. Like, Otis is an albino. Oh, I think I told y'all he's an albino, and then he just got over it. He just stops being an albino. He just fucking got over it, you know? It's cool, whatever. And there's a whole bunch of other like little changes and things that are made so that you can take this movie more seriously. So yeah, The Devil's Rejects, which came out in 2005, was rated R and came in at 107 minutes. It's technically classified as like a horror thriller, and it is directed and written by Rob Zombie, with the actors in it including Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon Zombie, William Forsythe, Ken Fortey, Matthew McGorry, Leslie Easterbrook, I apologize, Jeffrey Lewis, Priscilla Barnes, and Danny Trejo, just to name a few of the frickin' monumentally awesome cast. So, with the little bit I told y'all about the movie, in general, what do you think?
It was harsh in some places, really. Like, it hurt a lot, but then there were also, like, comedic relief moments that were nice and well-placed. You need them in this kind of movie, you really do.
No, yeah, I mean, it was intense, but, I freaking liked it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everybody, as I told them.
Yeah, does that make me crazy?
No,
Psychopath?
no.
Serial killer?
No, not necessarily.
Albino?
We'll talk, maybe. But yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second, yeah, because it's definitely not a movie for everybody. I would say it's intense, and it's not for everybody in a completely different way than, like, Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like,
Fuck Crash.
Let's not go there.
yeah, but, yeah, this movie's not for everybody. It's really intense, and when I saw it in the theaters, there were a lot of people who just left during the middle of the screening. So what did you guys find to be, like, the most difficult thing to get through, or the most troubling segment of the film or scene?
Probably the hotel, or the motel scene. You told me that was one that I should watch for before we discuss this movie. It's a lot. The girl wears the guy's face. It's a lot.
It's
a lot.
Oh, that's like, yeah, towards the end there. Yeah, I guess that's actually like one of the more bothersome parts. Honestly, the cutter the whole time bothered me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and not even from the clown sense. Like,
No,
he's just a creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He is.
know.
And, of course, what's really weird about that is he's actually, like...
The least.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
he's the one you probably have to worry about the least out of everyone there.
Because he didn't kill... When, like, the only interaction he had with, like, other people that he wanted to, like, hurt, he didn't even kill them or hurt them.
Yeah.
Like, really. He hit the lady, but that was it.
He knocked her out.
He's a career criminal who is fully capable and willing to kill someone, but only if he has to, or... You know.
Yeah.
Like, but he's not like Otis, who clearly is a psychopath, who is always looking for someone to fuck up.
Yeah. He gets enjoyment.
Yes. For me personally, or sorry, did we? Yeah, we were saying the hotel scene.
Much, oh well, like the mostly
and then
just
Cutter
yeah,
in general.
biggest,
Yeah.
Weird.
He is an unsettling character for sure, and part of that is how nice he can also seem at times, and how like he turns on a dime. Whereas like the first time you see Otis, like you know Otis is a psycho, and like you learn how bad of a psycho. But like Otis, you know what he is by looking at him. Whereas like, and you kind of with Cutter too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he I don't know. It seems so random.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of what makes the movie the most difficult is the way that, like, it turns everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the first time I was watching the movie, you get to the point in the movie where they're intercutting them partying with the sheriff in the basement getting drunk, yelling at a mirror. And I was kind of like, yeah, I think I'd rather be with them over there.
Yeah. No, that whole, almost every scene with the chief or the sheriff, like, was bothersome.
Yeah.
He was just a very, like, I don't know how to put it, like, just
either.
very dark person. Like, almost seemed worse than what we've seen so far.
And he believes he's doing the right thing.
Yes.
Which makes him really dangerous.
Really terrifying.
Yeah. Started wondering who was the worst one.
Yes.
Yeah, towards the end,
Which I think is a big point of the film. Because they spend so much of the early film convincing you how disgusting and deplorable these characters are, only to then, like, take the character who they do, at least for a couple of scenes, kind of set the sheriff up as a hero who's going to, like, avenge his brother and, like, serve justice. But very quickly it becomes personal and, like, rage-filled. And, like, to the point where, like, even though clearly he hasn't done things as bad as the Firefly family, you kind of feel like he's no better than they are.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The line's blurred.
Yes.
You know.
Which is something we'll come back to in a second when we talk about our favorite things in the film. But was there anything else that stood out to you as something that was just, like, rough?
Well, I did a double, like, cover my mouth. I had a moment like that when the girl got hit by the truck. The big truck. Did not see it coming at all. It just threw me off totally.
That was fucking happening. I was like, no, she's in the highway.
It was a lot.
I think the only other thing that super bothers me in the movie, it's the only other thing that really bothers me, is the shot of Otis, spoilers here, guys, Otis pulling the nails from his hands with his frickin' teeth. Like, I don't know why, but like, not the hammer putting the nails in, not, like, any of the other stuff, like, him using his own teeth and, like, just, I was just like, oh, and he doesn't even, like, get it, but, like, it's just, I was like, oh my god, that's, I don't know.
So bad.
Pretty bad.
Little things like that. It's freaking weird.
Which, again, the cop freaking gave to him.
Yes.
Like, so.
Yeah, he's
just
seriously freaking tortured.
Yeah.
We're not probably going to go too much, guys, into the, like, overall plot of the movie. I'm going to get into that a little bit when I start talking about the things that we really like about the movie, but if you want to know the plot, just listen to this. Like, we're going to have some spoilers, but we're going to try not to give away the complete ending to the film, so you'll have a reason to go and watch it yourselves. Right on. So yes, the film is very hard to get through, but it also has a lot of awesome stuff. So what was your favorite thing in this totally twisted, fucked up movie?
The ending scene, honestly, when they are driving up in the
Who
car, like, well, okay, fine. I'm not saying
the ending scene. What we can say about the ending scene is they use Freebird in a really nice subversion of the classic Western ending of, like, riding off into the sunset or sunrise, vice versa. You know,
it's lovely. It really is.
And it's kind of a perfect ending to the movie that you just watched.
Yeah.
So, her favorite thing is the one thing we're not going to talk to you about more than that, unfortunately.
I kind of like the beginning.
Oh, like just like. You know,
just from like the
shootout,
like, yeah, from like the standoff point, you know, and stuff like that. Either that or with can't remember his name, but the pimp, like kind of parts of the party scene, but the more intricate parts where they're having the conversation. Yeah,
Ken Forty, Ken Forty, guys. We're gonna talk about cast here in a minute too, but and like that opening shootout scene is great. Like he never cuts to the same angle twice.
Yeah.
Like, it has that, it feels very, like, visceral. It does go shaky cam, but you can still always tell what's going on just enough. Like, there's always chaos, but, like, but you can still tell, like, what you need to see. What you need to see.
Yeah.
Shit's about to go down is the message in that shit.
Yeah.
That's what you should pick up from that one.
Yeah, and it also gives you, again, like, it feeds into, again, what I was going to say about my favorite thing about the movie is the whole reason we ended up watching this is because we were talking about Westerns the other day.
Over romanticized version of a Western.
Yeah. And I was like, actually, there's a great movie that deals with that and kind of dissects that and analyzes it, and it's The Devil's Rejects, which is weird because you find this movie in the horror section of any video store that you find it. Well, actually,
a fair assessment, though.
It's freaking traumatic, for sure. I don't know if I would call it a horror film.
Yeah, it's...
But it's definitely, like, an exploitation action thriller, something or another.
Yeah.
You know, like you could say it's a horror film, but that's only because people are doing horrible things. But there are no monsters, there are no demons, despite the fact it's called The Devil's Reject. There's no magic.
That's what I was gonna say too. It is real people. That's what's scary about it. That this is like, it's so real. Like, it feels like this totally happened at some point, which I'm sure it has. But it feels so real.
Yeah, it feels like a social horror film or something, like something embedded in a real society. And the fact that like it is shot to feel like a 70s period and kind of shot in the same style as a lot of 70s movies kind of helps solidify that kind of lived in. Because like we can imagine, we've seen so much of that stuff at our age, even though we didn't live it, like it's just far enough removed that we can imagine that this is something that really happened.
Yeah.
Which the soundtrack works great for that too. But just the fact that the whole movie, like, basically this is an Outlaws on the Run movie with the sheriff chasing them, like a classic Western setup. I mean, like, dude, the Wyatt is literally dressed.
He's dressed straight up.
Yeah,
and they're all.
It's the guy from High Noon.
Like half of them are using freaking 6-shooters,
Yeah.
Colts, and shotguns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, granted they're pumps, but still, like, just basic weapons.
Yes.
Like,
Wyatt is literally dressed like the dude from High Noon, who I'm forgetting the character and the actor's name now, which makes seem like a dumbass, and I am. That's fine. But yeah, he's literally dressed like the dude from High Noon, and like all the characters. There's a Western town, which they just got by happenstance, but it plays so well into that idea. But it definitely demystifies.
And then, like, even the guy that was underneath the sheriff, like, he had, like, the critic.
Yeah.
That came in. Like, he looked like a typical doctor in a freaking Western, you know, had the big mustache with the freaking bowler hat.
Yeah, like the educated specialist type character. Right. Yeah, nice eye for that.
Just... that's what it looked like.
Yeah. But it does a great job of being like, okay, this is that story in a more modern period in the way that it would have really worked. Like, they basically dissect all the archetypes. Like, the villains aren't like these charming, dastardly, like, conniving, like, Bugs Bunny trickster types.
Yeah.
Like, they are brutal,
straight murderers,
freaking murderers.
Face cutting up assholes.
Who are also a family who, like, legitimately love each other.
Yeah.
And then, like, your hero is, like a
scum,
like a lot of real lawmen were in the Wild West.
I mean,
like a lot of them were basically crooks who like went into law enforcement because it gave them the ability to do what they wanted to do with immunity.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I think the movie works really well. And then, like we were saying, it makes you hate these characters. It makes you despise these villains that you meet. You meet Otis sleeping with a dead body in his bed.
Yeah.
You know?
It's bad, y'all.
Like, they set them up and make you hate them so much, and then the moment they put them into the family road trip sequences, like, slowly they start growing on you because you see how much love they have for each other. And, like, one of the classic ways to get people to care about villains in movies is to have them legitimately care about each other.
Yeah.
Because that's something human that you can, like, latch on to.
Yeah.
And I think the movie does a great job of, by the time we get to our heroes getting caught, we aren't sure whose side we should be on, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Oof.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And rough.
Yeah. Because especially, like, the realization after, you're like, no one wins. Nope, nobody wins in that movie.
Not at all.
No winners here.
And speaking of all the losers, so who was your favorite character or, like, your favorite actors in the film?
Baby was a lot of fun to watch.
Sherman Zombie, yeah.
Yeah, she's very unpredictable, and, like, I don't know, she's pretty too.
Yeah.
She's fun to watch. I also liked Cutter. We already talked about him. He's creepy. But I mean, like, for the part that he's playing, it's well.
Yeah. I guess two. It's fucked up, but Otis, like, dude, he's something else. Like, the casting for that role, he's something else.
Yeah.
He can do that. Like,
Bill frickin' Moseley.
And I feel like I've seen him in like so much stuff.
You probably have. Like, he's done a lot of smaller roles. He doesn't often do the lead, and he's done a lot of, like, genre horror film type things. Most notably, though, like, the thing that skyrocketing, or not skyrocketing, but got him noticed was he's in like the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Okay.
He's also in Army of Darkness. He plays like the leader of the frickin' skeleton army. He's like one of the few guys in makeup and
I
stuff.
feel like I know what you're talking about there.
But yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, Bill Moseley's freaking great.
Yeah, him and the pimp. Like
Yeah,
you said. He's
Ken Foree.
Yeah, Ken Foree.
Yeah, he's fun to watch too.
Man, this movie is full of just like great actors
cool
from B movies and like horror movies. Like, you got Sid Haig, who like I was talking to y'all about earlier. Like, I know from like watching Pam Grier movies with my dad when I was little, and like he always either played the super nice guy or the freaking crazy foreign rapist.
Yeah.
And this character of Cutter is kind of like right in the middle. You know? And I'm like, that's actually kind of great. You get him to play a more well-rounded character than usual. Yeah. And he's so good at being a prick. It's great.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always loved Texas Chainsaw 2, so freaking Bill Moseley, freaking awesome. Also, he's in this band called the Cornbugs with Buckethead, who used to play for Guns N' Roses for a little bit and stuff.
Okay.
It's weird, but no, Bill Moseley you probably know from Repo the Genetic Opera.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, he plays one of the like Paris Hilton's brothers, and
Okay.
he's the one who can't sing worth a fuck, but he is having the time of his life.
Yeah.
He's just like, chop it down. It's great. It's horrible, but I love him.
I was about to say that. Fuck.
No, it's
Jesus,
bad.
That movie,
it's bad. It's bad. But nevertheless, then again, this movie's got Ken Foree, and then Sherry Moon Zombie's great. It's Matthew McGorry. Yeah, Matthew McGorry is his last film that he did, so the movie's dedicated to him, and he's freaking awesome. And his scenes, pretty much everybody in the movie is great. I wish I knew the name of the girl who plays like the main prostitute because she's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole cast is good, and it's full of like all these random like old exploitation movie. It's got PJ Souls from Rock and Roll High School, man.
I don't know anything about that.
Future episode of What You Mean You Ain't Seen will be Rock and Roll High School with the Ramones, but not the next one. It's not the next one we're doing. The next one's gonna be The Crow. Wicked Prayer.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So, would you recommend this film to anyone else?
Maybe not to the lighthearted. It kind of there's a lot going on. It's really bloody. There's murder. It's bad. Y'all.
It's made by a guy whose last name's fucking Zombie, and the film's called The Devil's Fucking Rejects.
Yeah. What do you think?
If you
you're
give someone those two pieces of information at that point when they go into it, it's on them.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's true. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, not for everyone.
It's intense. But I mean, I thought it was awesome. Call me what you will, it's fucking cool.
No, it is. It's fucking cool.
I mean, yeah. So I
I'll
recommend it. I mean, it's not Crash, so
yeah, it's not.
I feel
Crash.
like there's more of an audience. You know, more people could watch this movie.
I think you might be surprised on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I think you. I think there might be enough dumb people who will watch Crash thinking it's like just straight up pornography and missing the point of the movie altogether.
Okay.
Then there are people who can like just sit through this movie and bear it.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I don't know, just with like.
I don't know. Rob Zombie's
there's
got a lot of
Netflix
fans,
original series that are pretty brutal out now. So like.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
It's then. Just the way TV is now, you know, I feel like some people could tolerate it more than
maybe,
definitely not when it came out though.
Well, no, and also the other thing that you have to consider is like in the political climate today, there are things in this movie. There were things in this movie that in 2005 were fine to do in a movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas now,
that's fair.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that where like you could put it in a movie and release it. But people aren't going to view it in the same way that they did in 2005.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I will say about that. Whereas, like, I think that given the way things are today, there's probably a good deal of people who are more open to something like Crash than there are people who are open to something like The Devil's Rejects.
Oh,
sure.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. This isn't my forte. as you guys know, I don't give a fuck about politics, yours, mine, theirs. I don't give a shit. It doesn't. No, I got other shit to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got movies to watch and comics to read. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
Which you do too if you're watching this channel.
Exactly. So just keep that in mind. We're all, you know.
Bunch of lazy assholes.
Dude, we're all in this together, all right? Everybody's just doing their best to get through the fucking day.
Just gotta love each other, man.
So, in that respect, I recommend Devil's Rejects. Just try to get through the day and watch Devil's Rejects. And I really love the movie. I think it's a great subversion of the like Western genre. I think that like it gives you interesting, complex characters.
That it does.
That really like make you question not only the movie but also things about yourself. Like, okay, well, like it makes you question things. Like sometimes we're like, oh, well, those people are so horrible. They should just be brutally like murdered themselves for everything they've done. But in this, like, when you get that, is that what you really want?
Yeah.
And look at the kind of person who actually goes that far. Do you want them to be in charge?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to be on their side?
Yeah.
And from that respect, I think that the movie's really interesting and goes beyond the kind of like exploitation roots of itself.
Yeah, okay, I can give it that.
Right on, guys. So, anything else you want to say to the people watching at home before we go?
Buckle up for the ride of your life, and yeah, just get ready.
I love you, brother, but I like my cocaine more. Fuck you.
On that note, I think
Best
we're
line.
gonna the best line. And on that note, I think we're gonna call it a night.
Bye!
Later.
Nerd Scum, out.